G'day, Geoff Lewis here from Seriously Series. Today is a bit of a update video, or a vlog you could say, because things have been changing very rapidly in the world around us. But I'm here to give you some reassurance. Nothing is changing here at Seriously Series. It is simply evolving for the better. So stay tuned as I tell you what you're going to be able to see in the next few months on Seriously Series here at YouTube, and more importantly on Patreon. It's going to be really, really exciting, so stay tuned. So one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video is a lot has changed here at Seriously Series, but it's not a bad thing. There's just nothing we can do about it. So all you can do is make the best of it. And I'm not going to go into the politics of where the world's heading and all the rest. We're all big fully grown adults here at Seriously Series, and we can make up our own minds as to where that's going. So I don't need to talk about that, and really I'm not going to. But anyway, what we've had happen here in Western Australia in particular is there's been a number of restrictions put in place. So it means that our big trip that we were planning on doing for the Connie Sue probably isn't going to happen in 2020. But that doesn't matter, because there's always 2021. So we're looking at just simply bumping it back a little bit and reigniting everything from there. So that's not too bad. In regards to Road to Ruin, that we were looking at releasing in a number of film festivals, that has been rather frustrating in regards to that, but once again, there's nothing you can do about it. So you just got to sit back, sort of figure out how you can get around these issues. So we actually had 2 film festivals lined up that I was really, really excited about. Well, sorry, 1 film festival, and then there was a Land Rover gathering that we were actually going to use as our UK premiere. And that was actually, I'll talk a little bit about it, that is the CLR gathering. And there was actually a explorer that was going to be doing a talk there. I think Lembedel Snell, I may have said that wrong, but he was going to be doing a talk, and then our film was going to be shown on a similar stage. So I was really, really chuffed about that. And the team at CLR, Classic Land Rover, they're an absolute joy to deal with. So they're really a little bit sad that this has happened, but they're going to reschedule it in 2021, May of 2021. So that will be our UK premiere of Road to Ruin. So that's actually really exciting. There's another really good film festival here in WA called Film Harvest, and basically this takes different films that aren't necessarily mainstream, and actually road shows them throughout regional Western Australia in actual cinemas. And I was chatting to the guys there, and they were very keen to actually take our film on board, and it's actually quite nice how they were going to do it, because Road to Ruin, the actual short film, is, as the name suggests, is quite short. It's about 50 minutes. So they were going to show our film after another film, which was about a gentleman driving across India in I think a mid-1930s Rolls Royce with Sharon Stone, and I think I don't know what Sharon Stone's got to do with it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So I thought that's actually a really nice little matinee, and that was going to be shown here in Kalgoorlie, which would have been the Western Australian premiere of the film, and then I think Broome, Busselton, Albany, Esperance might be another one. But anyway, so we were very, very fortunate, and so that's been cancelled but rescheduled for in the future, so we're not missing out there. But this is a fantastic opportunity. It's allowed us to go back and actually focus on other aspects. So we're converting the film from an MP4 format, which is something you have to do when you want to show it in a cinema. You have to convert it from the format that you have it in, whether it's AVI or MP4, and then you've got to convert that into what they call a DCP. And basically, in very simple terms, a DCP is a digital copy that is equivalent to 35mm film. And that basically means that you can then show it in cinemas. And that's something that the film industry here in Australia stipulates, so you need to do that. So that's something I'm looking into at the moment. By converting it into the 35mm film format, you can then actually send it off and then actually get it assessed by the Australian government. So you need to do that to get a classification. So that's like, we have G, which is for general distribution, you've got PG, which is for parental guidance, and M obviously is for mature content. So that's something that we'll be looking at doing in the next month or two. Damon's back and he's working really hard on the series itself. He's actually colour grading, which is something I didn't know a lot about, and this is great because I learn a heck of a lot from Damon, and hopefully Damon learns a little bit from me. I hope it's not all just a one-way street. But anyway, Damon can let you know about that. But what you have to do with colour grading is you might have 3 or 4 different cameras, but no camera takes the same shot. So what you have to do is you have to try and basically plateau out the differences. So you've got a unique lighting, colour saturation for everything, every single shot from every single different camera. So that's a big, big job, and Damon's doing that for the actual series of Road to Ruin, which at this stage is going to be a 4-part series. So that's the final step. He's got a bit of music to add to it, and then it's complete, it's done. And then we can look at actually getting it out to you guys and girls there. And obviously we realise that we've got a global following, and we are dedicated to try and get it out to as many countries as we possibly can, because we don't want anyone to miss out. There's just no fun in that. Oh. Even though it's Easter here in Western Australia, it's still, I don't know why, it's 36 degrees centigrade today. It's going to be 37 tomorrow. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, so basically that's the big shows, the 2 big showstoppers that we've got there. Road to Ruins, obviously we've got to reassess things, and obviously the Connie Sue trip. We were hoping to do a lot more episodes of the Golden Quest series, really try and sort of bring a few different stories, a few different tips and tricks, because the goldfields here in Western Australia is a really fascinating part of the world, steeped in history, a lot of unique characters, and a heck of a lot of tales to be told. But they're not going anywhere. Those tales have been around for 100 years, a couple years, it doesn't really matter. So we'll get to that eventually. But what this means is we're actually going to be able to show you a lot of other different videos, different content that we would have done, but it would have been further on down the track. So I've been leaning on this number 5 trailer here, and for some of you, you'd know these very, very well, but for many of you, you may not. And this was actually built in 1966. These are still in service in the Australian Army in limited numbers. They were originally towed behind the Land Rover Series 2A, then the Land Rover Series 3, and then the Land Rover Parenti. And basically I bought this trailer because I thought it would be really handy for future expeditions that we were looking at doing, but also I thought it would be really, really handy for the work I was doing at the time, which was regional geological mapping. And I was going to some really, really remote areas in the Land Rover's Parenti, and I was having to carry a lot of kit, and I just thought having a trailer, it would mean I wouldn't be putting as much pressure on the vehicle. because I wasn't just going out for a couple of nights, I was going out for a month on end. And then I'd come back, do a couple videos, and then I'd shoot off again. So it was a very, very hectic time in my life, but I learnt a heck of a lot about sort of just the simple things you need in order to have a few creature comforts out in the bush. You don't need much, but just a couple little things make all the difference. And this was certainly going to be one of them. So I'm going to be doing a series of videos on how to sort of overhaul your number 5 trailer. We'll end up doing a unique 4x4 episode on it, because unique 4x4 isn't about just 4-wheel drives. It's about equipment that's been used in off-road applications. So for example, like the VW Beetle is fantastic off-road, but it is a 2-wheel drive vehicle. So for me, I still think it's an off-road going vehicle. So we'll cover this because these are very, very popular in civilian circles at the moment. So I've had to do a few alterations to the trailer itself, and keep watching this channel as I'll go through them in another video. So we've got that. We'll be doing a unique 4x4 episode on our new Land Rover in the fleet, which you would have seen in our update video, our workshop update video, which is the Land Rover Series 3 Stage 1 with a very, very rare Isuzu 4BD1 in it. Because that really marks a big shift in motor industries, not just in Britain but in Australia and America, with the rise of the Japanese car industry. And it's actually a really interesting story behind how the Land Rover Series Stage 1 actually came about. So we'll do that too. So we'll have a few interesting unique 4x4 episodes coming your way. They won't be the videos that we were hoping to do this year. I actually had planned to actually fly over to Adelaide to the Burwood National Motor Museum, and we were going to cover Mike and Mel Leyland's Series 1 Land Rover, which they modified for their Trans-Australia trip back in 1966, called Wheels Across the Wilderness, and the book was called Where Dead Men Lie, which is an absolutely fantastic watch. I know it's 50 years ago, but it's still well worth a watch. You can learn a heck of a lot from them even today, and the book's well worth a read. I picked up a copy for I think $10 on eBay. So if you are in self-isolation, or you are spending a bit more time at home and getting a little bit bored, look it up. Well worth a read. So that's basically what's going to be happening here. We will be doing other reviews. We've got the Icon 450 UHF radio that we'll be looking into. I'm currently setting up the F8101 HF radio. I am pretty much a newbie when it comes to HF radio, so that's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I'm having to look into software for it and all the rest, but it's actually going to be really, really interesting getting that up and running. I'm working with Kim from the Oz Travel Safety Network, which is a fantastic HF radio club and community here in Australia, but they also specialise in satellite phones, EPIRB registries and all the rest, so they're well worth actually looking into, and I'll put a link in the content section down below. And obviously we'll be bringing out videos on a fortnightly basis, and we'll try and bring out a few extra videos there too, to obviously help you guys and girls out there who are obviously in self-isolation or having to sort of cut yourself off a little bit from the outside world. But either way, I hope you, your friends, your family are all doing well, you're safe, you're sound, and obviously getting stuck into those projects, planning those big trips, because I tell you what, there's going to be some fantastic trips coming up once we're out of this next chapter of where the world is at the moment. But anyway, look, thank you for watching this video. I hope you've obviously given you a bit of clarity in regards to the content that you're going to be seeing coming out here at Seriously Series over the following months. And look, thank you very much for supporting us, and look, if you do want to be able to get more content, more videos and behind the scenes and a lot more, then please do consider joining us on Patreon. I do understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, so you can click on the web link to our website in the content section down below, and there is a donate button. By supporting the channel, it enables us to generate more content and obviously down the track produce more adventure documentaries too. If you're new to the channel, then please click on that subscribe button down below, click on that notification button too, and that way you won't miss out on one single video. Anyway, I'll catch you later, and I hope to see you in our next video.